Did you know that a black poet published a book in 1773? Get ready to have your understanding of American history challenged. We're diving deep into 10 surprising facts about black history that you probably didn't learn in school. Let's start at the very beginning. When did the fight against slavery truly begin in America? Most people think of Lincoln, but the seeds of abolition were sown much earlier. In 1777, Vermont was the first jurisdiction in what would become the United States to abolish slavery in its constitution. This was a bold move, occurring even before the nation itself was fully formed. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Let's talk about groundbreaking achievements in literature, a space where black voices had to fight for recognition. Who was the first African American to publish a book of poetry? Phyllis Wheatley, an enslaved woman in Boston, achieved this feat in 1773 with her book Poems on various subjects, religious and moral. Imagine the courage and intellect required to accomplish this during such a repressive era. And who wrote what is often cited as the first novel published by an African American? That credit goes to William Wells Brown, with Clotel, or The President's Daughter. Published in 1853, the book offered a searing critique of slavery and its impact on families. These literary achievements were acts of defiance, paving the way for future generations of black writers. Now, let's shift our focus to the battlefield. How many black soldiers fought for the Union during the Civil War? Roughly 200,000 black men served in the Union Army and Navy. Their contributions were crucial to the Union victory, yet their stories are often overlooked. The 54th Massachusetts Infantry Regiment, formed in 1863, became one of the most famous black Union units, courageously leading the charge in battles like Fort Wagner. And what about the Harlem Hellfighters? The 369th Infantry Regiment in World War I spent 191 days in combat, more than any other American regiment in the war. They were awarded the French Croix de Guerre for their bravery. Black soldiers have consistently fought for a country that often denied them basic rights. Their valor deserves to be remembered and celebrated. But black communities weren't just fighting on the battlefield. They were building their own havens. Can you name the first California town founded, financed, and governed by African Americans? That would be Allensworth, established in 1908 by Colonel Allen Allensworth and other black settlers. Allensworth represented a dream of self-determination and economic prosperity. It offered a place where black residents could build their own institutions and govern themselves, free from the constraints of racial discrimination. And what about higher education? Which historically black university traces its roots back to 1854, making it one of the oldest degree-granting institutions of its kind. That's Lincoln University in Pennsylvania. These institutions provided vital educational opportunities for black students at a time when they were often excluded from white colleges and universities. They became incubators for black leadership and intellectual thought. Segregation created immense challenges for black travelers. How did they navigate this landscape? The Negro Motorist Green Book, published from 1936 to 1966, listed hotels, restaurants, gas stations, and other businesses that served black customers safely during Jim Crow segregation. This guide was essential for black families planning road trips. It provided a sense of security and helped them avoid potentially dangerous situations. The Green Book wasn't just a travel guide, it was a symbol of resilience and community support. Now let's turn to politics, where black Americans have consistently broken barriers. Who was the first black person to serve a full term in the U.S. Senate? That honor belongs to Blanche K. Bruce, who took office in 1875. Bruce represented Mississippi during Reconstruction and was a powerful voice for civil rights. And who was the first black woman elected to Congress? That was Shirley Chisholm, who was elected in 1968 from New York's 12th District. Chisholm was a trailblazer who fought tirelessly for social justice and equality. These political pioneers paved the way for future generations of black leaders. Black Americans have also made remarkable contributions to science and innovation. Surely you've heard of George Washington Carver and his work with peanuts, but who pioneered blood bank storage and transfusion techniques, saving countless lives? That was Dr. Charles Drew. His groundbreaking research revolutionized medicine, but he faced discrimination throughout his career due to his race. His innovations are still used today, saving lives around the world. These stories of scientific achievement highlight the brilliance and ingenuity of Black inventors and researchers. The fight for civil rights transformed American society. On March 2, 1955, a Black woman was arrested for refusing to give up her bus seat in Montgomery, Alabama. Was it Rosa Parks? Actually, it was Claudette Colden, a 15-year-old high school student. Her act of defiance occurred months before Parks' famous protest. Similarly, who popularized the slogan Black Power during the Civil Rights era? Stokely Carmichael, later known as Kwame Ture, articulated a vision of Black self-determination and empowerment. These moments of resistance and activism fueled the civil rights movement and led to landmark legislation. And, of course, who was the first Black president of the United States? Barack Obama's election in 2008 was a watershed moment in American history, demonstrating the progress that has been made in the fight for racial equality. But let us also remember that Obama's election did not signal the end of racism or inequality, and the struggle for justice continues. Black history is not just a story of oppression and resistance, it is a story of resilience, creativity, and triumph. These 10 facts are just a glimpse into the rich and complex history of Black people in America. By learning more about this history, we can gain a better understanding of the challenges and triumphs of the past and work towards a more just and equitable future.